Welcome back to the High Value Man Conversation. This is episode 24. And guys, this is the last episode of season 1. And it is a New Year's episode. And I'm so excited to share this with you guys because this has been an incredible year. Looking back on the last 12 months of 2022, this has been by far my best year yet. I'm so excited to share the wins with you, celebrate in your wins, and also share with you the formula for success. Because when I look back at this last year and when we first kicked off the High Value Man Conversation podcast, episode number 1, all about the Pam problem. Remember, Pam is that passive aggressive man. He's passive with his hopes, passive with his dreams, passive with his desires, but most importantly, he's passive with his women, his work, and the world of men. And I think about this last year and the transformations we've had with the High Value Man Accelerator, all the guys through the coaching, the guys that have been listening to the podcast, following us on email, on the social media, they've had massive breakthroughs because they're following a formula. And the formula is pretty simple. And so I want to share and break down the formula with you, but more so than anything, I want to brag a little bit. And brag not necessarily to make you feel bad, but brag because I want you to step into your greatness in 2023. This is going to be your best year, but it's only going to be your best year if you decide to take action and to stop being passive with your hopes, your dreams, your desires. And it all begins with having a plan, my friend. Yes, a plan, because you know that Pam hates having a plan. That's the reason he's the passive aggressive man. Man, I tell you though, this year in review, looking back at those 3 categories, the woman, the work, and the world of men, I'm in the best place I've ever been in. And I'm so grateful, so blessed. And it's not because of my own doing. It's really because of following a formula. And I want to share with you that formula here in just a second. Because the formula breaks a lot of the rules that we used to think men had to do. So many people say that men have to have goals to be successful. Men need goals to be accomplished. But the truth is, I don't think men need goals. I think men need to create their vocation. Their vocation is that God-given blueprint, that purpose, that design, that piece of them that God said, this is your unique gift for the world. That's what men need to be going after and creating. Because when you create that, you're fulfilled inside. You're energized, you're enthusiastic, you know you're on path, on purpose, you're passionate, you're excited. When you're just following goals and chasing after the next mountain and constantly resetting the marker, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to feel like it's a never-ending hamster wheel. But a vocation-driven man is a purpose-driven man that knows that he is called to do greater things. And that has been the greatest shift in my mindset, is to truly feed the vocation more so than the goals. And we're going to break that down here a little bit more. But I just wanted to share with you guys that this last year, it truly has been a breakthrough year in so many different capacities. I think about where I'm at in my romantic relationship with Rachel. We are in the best place we've ever been in. I'm currently in the new place in Dallas, Texas. We just got a new home out here about a month and a half ago, closed on a beautiful property, a dream home where her and I get to come together and really celebrate this next season of life. And we moved out to Dallas because we wanted to be closer to community. There is an amazing faith-based mission out here at Elevate Life Church. They've got a group called the Mighty Men Movement, and it is absolutely amazing. Having been part of many men's movements, built men's movements, this foundation of faith with this group of men has been one of the most fulfilling things to be a part of in this last year, and that has really helped to reinforce my walk with Christ. The second piece of this whole plan is the work. We think about the high value man has got 3 things he's working on. He's working on his relationship with his lady. He's working on his relationship with work. And he's working on his relationship with a world view, a biblical worldview. When I think about the work that we've been doing this last year at the High Value Man Accelerator, it is absolutely amazing. We have been blessed. Every single month, we're up in revenue, up in new members inside the program. We're growing by 20 to 30% every single month. We're going to close out December hitting over 6 figures in revenue. And that has just been amazing because we only started this business 6 months ago. And every single month, God blesses us with more men coming into the program, more breakthroughs, more reasons to continue this mission, this ministry that has turned all of our suffering into superpowers and really helped so many men break through their own passivity. And all this growth has happened because we've been following this formula, this vocation-driven formula. And the last piece, we think about the world as a whole, the biblical worldview that is foundational to be a man of value, a high-value man. You need to find principles that you can go after, values and vision that has been tested in time. And I'm here holding a Bible right now for those of you that are going to be listening to this on the podcast. And one of the biggest stretches that I've done this last year is to truly get into the Word. My lady, Rachel, she challenged me earlier in the year. And for those of you that have followed my journey any amount of time, you know that I always check the boxes spiritual, never religious. And I think God has a way of wooing the heart of stubborn men. And so I said that I found Jesus in Dallas, Texas, and he was hanging out with this beautiful blonde bombshell. And so my heart got won over. But it was interesting because as we started dating and courting, she was always very accepting of my relationship with God. I say God in quotation marks. And my relationship with spirituality. I had read a lot of books about the Bible, read a lot of books about Jesus, but I had never developed an intimate relationship with the Bible or with Jesus. And she challenged me in a conversation as we were having these debates on faith and religion and spirituality. She challenged me one time and she said, Aaron, you're a smart guy and you seem to know a lot about the Bible, but have you ever actually sat down and read the Bible? And I had no answer for this. No comeback. I had no defense for the argument. And I'm not the type of guy that likes to lose arguments. And so I set out to make it a mission to read the Bible every single day. And it's been nearly a year now where I've been getting into daily devotion, reading the Bible, and it's changed my heart. I don't know a better way to put it, but it's absolutely changed my heart. I've been getting into the Word open and just letting it speak to me. I've been starting in the beginning. I started the book of Genesis, read through the Proverbs a few times. There happens to be 31 Proverbs, 31 days in a month. So there's a great little section and chapter every single day of the month. And then I've been getting into the New Testament and working through it. I worked through study guides and Bible sessions with my good friend Carlos, one of the High Value Man coaches and our ops manager all around Gangster. And I've actually hired a spiritual discipler, a teacher on the path, another coach to help me understand the Word a little bit more. But one of the biggest breakthroughs in this last year has been getting into the Word, and it all started because a wonderful woman challenged me in that. And in part of that challenge, she not only challenged me with the fact that I didn't and had never read the Bible, but I knew so much about the book. She also challenged me with my relationship with Jesus. She says, you know a lot about this Jesus guy, but have you ever tried to develop a relationship with him? Have you ever sought to petition and pray to him? Have you ever sought to seek understanding and counsel and to actually build an intimate relationship with him? Rather than learning about him, why don't you learn through him? Why don't you learn to get connected with him? And that same challenge showed up in the exact same way about a year ago. And so as I got into the Word, as I got into meditation and prayer, I started speaking and talking to him as you do in prayer, and he started responding and talking back. And it has been such a transformation this last year. So much so that it has motivated this move to get closer to a faith-based community, to be able to be a part of a foundational community like Elevate Life Church out in Frisco, Texas, to be closer to that, to be able to have a Saturday morning men's group that is all based in faith, to be able to start establishing new alignments with men on a mission that are all following Christ. That's been the biggest transformation of the year. And it really all again comes back down to this formula, this vocation formula that I want to share with you here in just a second. So that's the woman's side. I couldn't imagine being in a better place with a more beautiful, more wonderful woman inside and out. She has brought so much life to my life and continues to help me grow in many capacities. For those of you that are in romantic relationships, you know you learn the most about yourself in the dynamic of your person. And I'm so blessed for it because there's been just incredible growth across that. And then the work side, when we think about the High Value Man Accelerator, we've just scratched the surface on the work and the impact that we're going to do. But when I think about this last year and going out on my own, leaving True Lean Nutrition, leaving Battle Ready, and the relative comfort that came with working as a part of Bedros' team, it took a leap of faith. It took a leap of faith to go out on my own and to establish the next steps and to have faith. And I did it because I knew that there was something deep inside, a message that I had to share that was going to be based in spirituality, based in practices that were biblical, based in practices that were all built around the foundation of believing in yourself by believing in a higher power. And that's what the High Value Man Accelerator has been all about. It's been It's been an amazing mission. The last 6 months, we have grown in revenue every single month, but more so than anything, we've grown in impact. We've grown in impact. Our sessions on Tuesday morning, the men's call, they begin in prayer. They end in blessings. We spend the time not only throughout the week helping men break through their passivity by dialing in their action plan, their vision, their values, their victories, understanding what their vices are, and then helping them get clear on their vocation. But we help them grow in their relationship with God, which has been the greatest gift for me, and it gets to be the greatest gift we get to continue giving. And then when I think about the worldview, how much it has shifted this last year, the 3 areas that Pam does not have his hands around, and the high value man gets to go all in on woman, work, and the world of men. My worldview has drastically and radically shifted when I stopped and realized when you're looking for a model of masculinity, there's really only one place you should be looking. You should be looking for the type of man that has withstood the test of time, that is still spoken about, talked about, preached about, and has left a legacy long after he has gone. The type of man that is leaving a lasting impact based on love. The type of man that has built a foundation of faith and discipleship, not with a big social media following, not with a huge marketing budget, not with any major platform or political side, but literally by getting boots on the ground, or sandals on the ground, if you will, and sharing a message delivered to him from above. JC, Jesus Christ, that guy has been the foundation of masculinity. So if you're looking at some worldviews to model as you are building your own manhood, your path to masculinity, is there really anyone else to follow other than him? Does he not have all of the principles of passion and purpose, foundation and salvation, turning his suffering into a superpower, articulating, communicating, leading, and having incredible impact over many, many years? There's no one else that is talked about more than him. So if you're looking where to search, where to begin your path at becoming a better man, why would you not begin from the beginning? From the beginning. That's been my biggest breakthrough, is being able to at least see that there is such a great example. All the teachers and gurus and coaches and counselors and therapists that I've worked with over the years, I'm so blessed and grateful to have all of them, and we've all pulled pieces of JC down into our daily practical and tactical application. But go back to the source, go back to the foundation, study the scripture, follow the process of faith by believing in something unseen that doesn't yet exist. And that is really the practice of a high value man, is to add value, know your vision, live by your core values, stack your victories, master your vices, and then become a man of vocation. That's been my year in review, and it's been a blessing. And a big part of that blessing is because of you, my friend. It's been all of the followers, it's been all of the support, all of the engagement, every single listener to the podcast, all the viewers on the YouTube, every single person that has raised their hand and said, I want to break free from the Pam problem. I want to go all into becoming a high value man. It has been a huge, huge mountain to move with this growing team. Our team has doubled in size in the last 6 months. And it's been incredible to see our part-time guys now make full-time income and come all in, to be able to move out of their houses, move across state, and come closer to the kingdom movement of growing more high-value men. This is just the beginning. When I think about where we're going and where we come from, we are mission-driven, we are impact-driven, we are inspired, we are on fire, we are passionate, we are purposeful, and we are all vocation-driven men that are here to help build better men. And it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And I'm so excited. Thank you for that. In this episode 24, this last episode of season 1 of 2022, as everybody is thinking about New Year's kicking off tomorrow, I want to remind you of something. I want to remind you first and foremost that your best year is yet to come. The very best you is right around the corner. All the things that you hope, you dream, you desire, that you want in life, it's on the other side of the work that you get to do. And it's going to help you feel that internal sense of worth when you start stacking those wins. And it all happens right now when you decide. When you decide that 2022 was your year of foundation and 2023 is your year of harvest. Your 2023 is your year of prosperity and abundance, because you're going to go after those hopes, those dreams, and those desires, my friend. But the formula for a high value man, a high value kingdom man that takes everything he wants and knows how to work towards it with passion and purpose, knows how to build an army, an alliance around him to truly have income and impact that he can't even begin to imagine, to grow the kingdom for not only his family, his legacy, but to grow the kingdom for all the people that need to hear the word. Yes, this is a little preachy, little teachy, but I gotta tell you, man, my salvation this last year has been absolutely incredible. Where I am now, I only dreamed about. 8 years ago, when I first sat down and did the formula for the first time, sat down and did that vision assignment 8 years ago, I could not possibly imagine this life. I just knew that I wanted more. I just knew that I wanted to look a certain way. I knew I wanted to do work that inspired me. I knew that I wanted to have the impact that made me feel fulfilled. I knew that I wanted a beautiful woman that supported my hopes, dreams, and desires, but also challenged me and could run alongside with me. I knew I wanted all these things, but I had no idea how to make it happen. I just began with the want, because the want points the way to the work, and the work will give you your worth. So if it's something that you want that is delivered to you from God, know that that is the foundation. That is the seed being planted for the harvest you will eventually reap. But the formula, and I keep teasing on this, the formula, my friend, it is not another goal. As you are sitting down to think about this upcoming year, I don't want you to stack goals. I don't want you to write down 30, 60, 90-day goals. Goals don't work. Goals don't work. Goals don't work because they are short-term. You need to think legacy impact. You need to think the identity that God gave you. You need to think bigger, bolder, and grander, because you are a son of God or a daughter of God. You are a unique blueprint. You are here to do powerful things. You are designed to do something so powerful, so amazing, so lasting, because you come from him. He is eternal. He is grand. He is the creator of heaven and earth. He is all, and you are a piece of him. And so you got to think big, dream big, and go big this year. And that is bigger than a goal. Your goal is just a piece. It is a small blip on the radar. It is a small little mound with all the mountains that you will climb. A goal is too small, and goals don't work. You've probably set goals at the beginning of a new year. And you've probably seen and realized so many times that all the New Year's resolutions of I'm going to lose 10 pounds, I'm going to start making some money, I'm going to quit this vice, I'm going to stack this win. All those goals are temporary and they leave you unfulfilled. But the one thing that fills you from the bottom to the top, from the inside to the out, in every single capacity possible, is knowing your purpose, your vocation. Your God-given talents, gifts, abilities, all that suffering that was given to you, it is designed to turn into a superpower to serve someone else on their journey. Your vocation is a unique skill set that only you can master. It is a unique story that only you are meant to tell. Your vocation is meant to serve someone else along their journey. All of my pain that I'm so grateful to have, all of my struggle, all of my suffering, all those down, dark days, and there's still plenty more coming, all of that is deeply attached to my vocation, the reason why I'm here, my God-given purpose. That vocation is what wakes me up early, what keeps me up late, what gives me energy, enthusiasm, and excitement, purpose, passion, and the fuel and the fire to go after my hopes, dreams, and desires, even in the face of adversity. It is my vocation that pushes me over the edge into the wild unknown, knowing that I am backed by God. Your vocation is that whisper from God that turns into a roar the more that you feed it. Your vocation is the only reason you're here, my friend. And a man that knows his vocation is an unstoppable man. A man that pursues his vocation is truly a high-value man. And the formula for discovering your vocation is really simple, my friend. It comes down to, first and foremost, understanding your vision. Your vision begins with the end in mind, knowing what you want, my friend. Write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets. That's biblical scripture. I didn't even know it was scripture until I started getting into the word. All the lessons in leadership and life all begin in the Bible, my friend. There are so many biblical truths in here, but vision is the foundation. You got to make your vision, your revelation, your divine plan. You got to write it down plain and know that that is your guiding path. That is your blueprint. Because if you don't know where you're going, how can you possibly ever get there? So step number one is your vision. Take time to map out what this next year looks like. On this eve of New Year's, on 2023, right around the corner, take time to write down what this next year will look like. In fact, I want you to fast forward even more. What does the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 and 10 years look like for you? What does it look like for your woman, for your work, and for the world that you're in? What does it look like for the income and the impact that you're going to make? What does it look like when you take off your shirt and you stand in front of the mirror and you see the man of your dreams standing right there in front of you because you've built him? What does it feel like when you feel that confidence from all the victories that you stack? Your vision, first and foremost, is the blueprint for your best life. So on this eve of New Year's, know that goals don't matter, but a vision does. So take time to write down your vision. Number 2 are your values. Your values. What are those core values, God-given values that drive you? What are your non-negotiables? What are the things that you're going to make your decision on and stick your freak flag in the ground and live your life by? What are those values? Those values become the decisions in life where you will go the right direction or the wrong direction. But if you don't take time to define your values, to understand what your core values, your motivators are, and to start to do the deep dive on the work that is necessary to be able to make decisions based on values rather than decisions based on feelings. If you don't define the core values for your family, how can you expect your young ones, your kids, your sons, your daughters, your woman, or anyone else to hold themselves accountable to the standard? Your values must be defined, written down, and lived by. Your values are unique to you, and they also become great ways for you to filter out the yeses, the nos, and all the shiny objects in life. And your third one is your victories. So you got your vision, clear picture of where you're going. Your values, the decision makers, the blueprints along the way. Victories are the little mini wins that build your confidence and your competence so you can take on bigger challenges in life. If you hope to take on the biggest mountain of your life in the next 10 years, don't you think you should start climbing small little peaks as you get there? Don't you think if you want to be able to approach the woman of your dreams and to woo her over, that you better start stacking some little victories along the way? Learn how to communicate, articulate, share a message, maybe dance on the dance floor so you can win her and woo her. If you want to stack big victories, you got to stack little victories. So what little victories do you need to stack this year as you get clear on the vision, start living by your core values, and stack those victories, those daily wins? How can you stack a victory every single day? Take a cold shower, make your bed, and get a workout in. Bam, there's 3 wins for your first thing in the morning. Number 4, that gets you on path. This formula for the life you're meant to live is knowing your vices. Your vices are those dirty little distractions that are keeping you off track, my friend. The distractions, the drugs, the drinking, the masturbation, the porn, whatever your vice is, that thing you're ashamed other people might find out about. What are those things that you do in secret, in the dark, that you hope no one ever finds out about? Those vices, if you don't get clear with the enemy that's holding you back, Pam, that passive-aggressive man, he is riddled with vices. Pam is my vice. Anytime I'm being passive and not assertive, not being direct or intentional with the things that I want, that's Pam winning. Pam wants to keep me small. He wants to diminish me. He wants to keep my light hidden from the world. Pam is the problem, and he is the reason I started this podcast. I want to build high-value men that understand that every man has got a vice. Every man's got a vice. And until you declare what your vices are and how you're going to fight through them, how you're going to build alliances around them, how you're going to create accountability, how you're going to bring support and show other people that if you can break free from a vice, so can they. Until you get clear on that, your vices will run your life, my friend. So you got to do that inventory. What are the vices holding you back? And the last piece is the vocation. That vocation is that blueprint from God. That is that divine purpose that only you can fulfill on this planet. And if you're running around and you've gone from coach to coach and goal to goal, you've made a ton of money, you've lost a ton of money, you've had beautiful women, you've done all these things, but you still feel unfulfilled, it's because you have not unlocked your vocation. It's because you're living without purpose. It's because you have not taken time to connect with God, because only He knows what you're meant to do. He made you. He knows everything about you. He knows your vocation. So wouldn't you want to build a relationship with that Creator that could tell you why you're here? That could answer the greatest question that is on every man's heart. Why am I here? What am I meant to do? Wouldn't it be great if you just went directly to the source, my friend? Went directly to the source and asked the question and got an answer? The courageous man will do that, and the courageous man is then going to have to follow through with the challenge, because God asks you to do big things, big things. If you haven't built a relationship with faith. With faith. There's 4 practices. And I've shared this before. 4 practices that will develop your vocation, develop that understanding with why you're here, will develop that relationship with God. Those 4 practices, first and foremost, is prayer. Prayer is your petition to the higher power. Being humble enough to submit and to surrender, to admit that you don't know it all, to prayer and petition. You pray every single day, and I promise you will get some answers. Number 2 is scripture, to get into the word, but more so than anything, not even just read the word, but to pick up a pen and to write your own scripture, your blueprint, your vision for life. Third is to fast from those vices, those distractions that are holding you back. But the 4th most important piece is to teach, to preach, and to share. Yes, to preach, teach, and share, to share your message with others. Other people that are along the journey with you, because you have wisdom. You have wisdom, my friend. And until you start to share it, it is selfish. And if it's selfish, you're never going to serve. You're never going to reach the level of success that you want. So you follow that 5E formula. You get clear on the vision. You get clear on your values. You start stacking victories. You master your vices. Then your vocation starts to get more clear. And you realize that this is the reason why you're here. And that vocation gets even more defined when you start building your faith with those 4 daily practices, your daily 4. Your 4 before you hit the door: prayer, scripture, fasting, and teaching. Man, you follow that formula every single day, your life is going to be completely unrecognizable in the next 12 months. Your life will be completely unrecognizable in the next 12 months. You will look back in the rearview mirror at who you were on December 30th, 2022 and not recognize the man. If you follow that simple formula, that 5-step, 5V formula, your vision, your values, your victories, your vices, and your vocation, and you live by that, that becomes your new identity, where you preach, teach, and talk about your message and your mission everywhere you go. That becomes who you are. You will not recognize who you are in 12 months. I promise you that. I promise you that. So on this eve of New Year's in 2023, as you're stepping into a brand new year, and you're thinking about all the great things you want to do, and maybe you're looking back on 2022 with a little bit of regrets, and you realize you could have done better. You could have done something different. You could have gone all in. You held back. You diminished your light. You sat on the sidelines. You were too much of Robin instead of Batman in your own movie. You played the sidekick. Now is the time to decide to do something different. Now is the time to paint a big God-sized vision. Now is the time to double down on you. Now is the time to raise your hand, create some support and accountability, and join a tribe of men on a mission to change the world. Change the world. Because if you don't, who will? If you don't, who will? The high value man recognizes one thing. He recognizes that nobody's coming to save him. And the only person that's going to make things better is the man of value, and that's him. So as we end season 1 of the High Value Man Conversation, step into season 2, I want to let you know that big things are coming. Big things are coming. 2x, 3x than what we did this year, because we were just scratching the surface. We're just starting to build momentum, this mission, this faith-based mission of men that are dedicated and devoted to spreading the word, growing the kingdom, and becoming men of value. Men of value. And I can tell you, if my history, my background, who I am, the distance I had from religion, from Christianity, from anything organized, not wanting to be told what to do, feeling controlled. If I can have a transformation this powerful in the last 12 months by following a very simple process and formula, if I can do it, so can you. If it's something you want with your woman, your work in the world, I can tell you the thing that's standing in your way is your lack of surrendering and submission to something greater than you. That's it, my friend. That's it. Man, I'm so excited for all things coming up in season 2 of the High Value Man Conversation. We got some badass new branding that we're going to be sharing with you guys pretty soon. New podcast cover art. A bunch of new things coming out. We have some new programs coming out this year. We've got a year of discipleship, a year of mastery program coming out in this upcoming year that we're going to be sharing a little bit more news on probably at the end of first quarter. We got new team members coming onto the board. We're just growing. We're growing because we're just beginning, because we know that this is the reason why we're here. We're vocation-driven men. And we're excited to help more guys unlock this. And so I want to leave you with this, guys. As you are stepping in this new year, I really hope you take down these 5 V's. Take time to just write this. You could write this down yourself. you don't need to do the coaching of the program with us. I'd love for you to join the program because we love more men that are disciplined, dedicated, on fire. And if you don't have those things yet, we're going to help you build those to build a better world. But write those 5 V's down. First and foremost, you need a vision. You don't need a fucking goal. You don't need a goal. You need a vision. A vision for 2, 3, 4, 5 years out in the future for all the things that you want. Because everything you want is going to show you the work that you need to do. And if you do that work, you're going to feel super worthy. I can tell you that much. So write down the vision. Then write down your values, your core values. Who are you? Who are you? I'm a man of God. I'm a student of fitness. And I'm a man on fire to grow the kingdom. That's who I am. Who are you? Then your victories. What do you need to start winning at every single day to build the skills, to build the confidence and the competence to be able to take on the greater challenges of life? If you want to do big things in the next year, the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you better start small. So what are those daily victories that you need to stack so you can start feeling more confident and competent? Read 10 minutes per day, exercise every day, lose the weight, burn the fat, build the muscle. What are those victories that you need to stack? And your vices. If you haven't done an audit of the vices holding you back, you got to do that. So write down those vices and how you can break free, create accountability, some support from other people that might need that support as well. And then your vocation. Take time to ask God, why are you here? What are you meant to do? What part of your story of suffering needs to become a superpower? Where in your past has misery happened that could become your ministry? Think of all the programs that we've launched. The project started because 2 men came together. 2 men came together, 2 men that were physically, mentally, emotionally, and sexually abused growing up. I was one of them, and Bedros Kunin was the other. We had a conversation saying, man, I hope this never happens in my generation. I want to build a world where grown men relate about the legacy they're leaving behind, not about the abuse that happened when we were young. And because of that conversation, that vulnerable, open, honest conversation between 2 men on a mission, that was the catalyst for so much change. That suffering turned into a story and a superpower. Where in your life do you have a story of suffering that gets to become your superpower? That's your vocation, my friend. That's your vocation. But it begins with you building a relationship with God. Whew! Stoked for season 2. And we're going to get into it. And I don't want to take up any more of your time because it's New Year's Eve. And I want you to have some time this weekend to do those 5 V's. And after you do those 5 V's, do me a big favor, my friend, and tag me, share this with a friend. Let someone else go on the journey with you. If you're interested in learning about the High Value Man Accelerator, how to work together with me and my team, shoot me a DM, shoot me a message. I would love to work with you because the world needs more high value men. Much love, many blessings. Talk to you soon. Boom.